All right, what's up, everybody? We're on a 75 hard update number 8. Number 8.
Mm-hmm.
Today I got
Day 75 for me.
So you're done. Huh?
I'm done today.
She's done almost. Are you done? Did you complete everything?
Not today. No,
Okay.
no. I still have to complete a couple things,
Okay.
but
Crazy.
I still
How
have
does
to
it
eat.
feel?
I don't even know. It's weird. It's like, well, I mean, it probably feels similar to you guys. I don't know. It's just like,
But what are you going to do now? Like, what's next?
Well, I don't really want to just like stop doing everything. So I'm just going
You
to
just keep
plan
doing
on
it.
waking up tomorrow and walking and doing
Keep the habits going.
doing some weightlifting. And yeah, I think so.
Sweet. That's
Love
where
it.
it's a weird moment because that's how I feel. I feel like we're celebrating this like tomorrow's the last day, but for like the last day of what? Like
Right.
we're still, you know what I mean? It's a
Yeah.
weird feeling
Yeah.
because normally you're trying to do something to be done with it,
Yeah.
and that's not the
Yeah,
case
exactly.
here. So it's different.
It's not necessarily a celebration because it's just like a habit change.
Yeah.
I feel like.
For me,
Yeah.
it's my 75 days to check my progress because I haven't yet.
I'm so excited for that.
I'm
Yeah, I am
excited.
too. I am too.
So that's what I'm looking forward to. That's the only like big.
So are you checking tomorrow?
No, I'm gonna check
day
Saturday
after.
morning. I think. Yeah,
Okay. Nice.
You have to share.
I will.
I'm
I will
like-
share with you guys.
It's so obvious that there's been like
Uh-huh.
a lot of change, and
Yeah.
so I'm just like so excited.
Yeah.
Thanks. I'm excited.
That'll be good to know.
Yeah, it'll be
After all this
interesting.
time.
Have
Yeah.
you been like weighing in and stuff through or measuring or anything?
Yeah. As of today, I am only like 12 pounds down. But
Only.
yeah, I
Only
mean, it's
12
fine.
pounds.
I know since the beginning, but I have gained a lot of muscle like we've talked about before.
Yeah.
And I can definitely see that.
Did you
My
measure?
arm flab's pretty much gone. It's really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't measured. I
You
didn't
didn't
do
it
that
before
no.
measure.
No, but my clothes fit nicely, and yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I mean it's obviously there's some change for sure, but
Yeah.
I think more of it, like we talked about last time, is like philosophical and mental and
Oh,
Mental
100%.
change. Oh, yeah.
and
Yes.
just like progress in general
We're
with life.
whole different people than we were.
Well,
70.
there's that aspect of like
crazy.
when you're
Yeah.
pushing yourself through something physically hard,
Mhm.
your brain is like, "Oh, I can do hard things."
Yep.
And then it like helps you mentally push through the hard stuff of like, "No, I can do hard things," you know? And so
Yep. Especially I feel like for me as like a lifelong fat girl, like I have been overweight my whole life, like off and on. But I think for me, like running and exercise was always like the hardest because I did not like it. I hated it. I didn't
Yeah.
want to do it.
I hate it too.
really see that's like my drug.
Oh, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I wish.
So not being able to do it because the concussion was like killing me, and then
bet.
this like forced me back in.
It's like
Oh, that's good.
I can see that now though. After working
Yeah.
out so
Yeah.
much, now I can see how people like get into it, and
Yeah.
how they get addicted to it.
Yeah.
Even. It's
Yeah.
like I could. Yeah.
Well, because
because
it
You just
releases
feel really
those
good.
endorphins,
Right.
and just like you said, you've never liked exercise. Me too, hated it. But when I hurt my toe, I was like craving it. Like I wanted to do stuff that I couldn't do. I wanted to go walk or
Yeah.
jog or whatever, and it was the first time I've ever like wanted that.
Yeah.
So how's your toe? Is
That's
it better
awesome.
now?
It's feeling a lot better. It's
Yeah.
still a little bruised and it's still sore, but I really think I must have just sprained it or something. I imagine it would still be pretty bad if it was broken. So, and I never went to the doctor.
Yay. That's
Yeah.
good.
So yes, I'm very
That's good.
very glad that it's healing
That's good.
better than it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be hard, I think.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if I have any like big breakthroughs this episode. Like last time I had
last
so much to say. I was like, yikes.
I
Sorry.
was awakened.
I should have went back and watched it. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. It was just a lot. Like I was mostly just talking about like mind to muscle and how important that was to me, like figuring out how to focus on the muscles and what they're doing. And it kind of just like made the pain go away. And I did it again when we were camping. We were riding bikes. And, I was, because we're in the mountains. So it was, it was a little bit harder terrain sometimes. And
Yeah.
yeah, it was definitely hurting, but I would just go back to thinking about what my legs are doing, and then the muscles would just like relax. It was crazy. It's so crazy how that worked. But yeah, that was really fun. Me and Clyde we went on a little adventure out in the forest and
Sweet.
got caught in the rain. It was like pouring down on us, and it was so cold, but it was really fun.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah,
I thought it was
I
fun.
just left her. Like, I'm
No,
like,
you
I'm just going back to camp. I just started pedaling. Like,
So what about you,
at the
Clyde?
end there.
Are you what's
I mean,
what's life looking like after?
yeah, I mean, I think like, like we talked about before, I think I'm going to read less, but I'm still going to read every day. I'm just going to not go push for the 10 pages.
Yeah.
Cause like after like page 5 or 6, I just lose focus anyways.
Yeah.
Or I start falling asleep.
I
So-
really think you would
I think you're
benefit
really-
from audiobooks while you're driving and stuff.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
I've been doing that for years.
Okay.
I've
then
done,
yeah.
So that's something I do every once in a while, anyways. But like this thing demanded that you read it, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah. So, but
That's
I think
what I
I'm
couldn't
just
do.
going to keep doing it anyways. It's good to read.
It is.
Yeah.
The kids read, and then I read my book while they read. So
Yeah,
it
it gives you
works.
like we've
Totally.
talked about, like gives you like just the excuse to take a little time to yourself, like go off and
Yeah.
have some quiet time to yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
problem is like finding that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. Little
Yeah.
kids
Can be
home all the time.
challenging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Will you turn 2 up? Yeah, it is hard because they just don't. Yeah, Rachel, or
Oh, speak up.
talking.
Speak
Oh,
to
up,
I'm
it.
usually
Rachel.
super loud. I'm
Yeah,
being
be
quiet.
loud or. Anyways,
Being quiet today.
yeah, the kids are crazy until reading time. That's the only time at night because like she goes to work. It's like they're just crazy. They're jumping off the walls. Like
It's the witching hour.
Just wait
It's
till
just-
they get older.
It's always been that way in the evening.
Yeah, I'm trying to get them to bed, and so reading really helps calm them down. So
Yeah.
and then it's good for me to.
So
do
they
it,
read
too.
while you read?
Yeah.
Oh.
So what
Smart.
we've been doing, when they were younger, I would read to them, but then once they learn how to read, you're like, well, now you've got to do it, so you get that practice.
Yeah.
So now they both read, and then the big one reads to the little one, and
Sweet.
I read.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's good. Yeah, but other than that, I think I'm gonna keep working out. My life is crazy, anyways. But the candy thing, I don't even want to eat candy anymore, so that's good. It's
That is
awesome.
gone.
good.
You're not going to just eat a bunch of candy?
No. No.
Chocolate chip cookies.
Demanding
though?
chocolate chip cookies? I'm going to
Probably
have to do
chocolate
it.
chip cookies.
I should probably buy some
Yeah.
chocolate
You
chips
can let me know
tomorrow.
when they're. I'll come over.
Okay.
Ever since you said that, it just sounds good. I
It does
feel like
sound
I need
good.
to
Yeah.
make
Tiffany
some.
is like so ready for a brownie. Like
I know. We're gonna give Tiffany her brownie.
Yes.
Yeah. I know. I was thinking that. I'm
Clyde
like,
his
should we
cookie.
have not chosen Leatherby's? Like, should we choose like more of an adult place to go, like where people can have drinks or something if they want? But
No,
I was like,
Leatherby's
no, I just want
sounds-
Leatherby's.
I mean,
Perfect.
you can have drinks there. You just got to be sneaky.
bring it in your coffee mug.
Yeah, there you go. You can
I
have
went
drinks
there for the
anywhere.
fight.
Right.
I've
Root beer
never been
float.
there, and I went there for
Yeah.
the first time the other night. And I
Oh, you
was-
did?
You've never been there?
No, when we went the other night,
Wow.
and I was like, oh, so I like got the little kid one, and the kid one's like huge.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then ate just like
I
couple
can't believe you've
spoons
never been
fun.
there. That's like
Like, oh.
tradition.
Yeah,
Like a
it's you can't be a
family-
Utah unless
Yeah,
you
that's-
like a Salt Lake.
I mean, there was an Ogden one we used to go to that was like an Ogden Creamery
Oh, really?
that I
Yeah.
would go to all the time. But like,
I wonder if that's everywhere you
this
go.
isn't
So
my
it was like
hood, you know,
that's
Like-
true. That's true. This was like the place you went in high school and stuff. Like we would always go for whatever events in high school we'd have and go. They'd
It
have big
seemed-
tables.
There was a certain culture that would go after certain meetings, and I was like, I don't know if I can come here.
Yeah, that's true.
I had a
That
lot of
is true.
anxiety in there, so it was an interesting
certain culture.
Yeah,
If you know, you know. If you're Utah, you know.
That's funny. Well, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I-
Speaking of the witching hour, I'm super excited for fall.
Yes.
What is going to change with the weather as far as workouts go?
I have a dog now. Like he has to run, so I'm like, that's my excuse.
Keep
going.
But
yeah.
you know, people don't I live, at least right now, we're hopefully selling, but like nobody shuffles their walk. So
Yeah, I know.
maybe I need like to
Some
learn
good
how to
boots.
run in big boots.
Yeah.
Like,
I think I do too. Yeah, because that's what I want to do. I still really want to just walk during the winter.
Yeah.
yeah.
I plan to. I'm trying to get somebody to walk with me every night.
I know. I was gonna say when you were talking about that, I was gonna say, well, we can arrange it when we can,
Yeah.
but just because we don't live like super close to each other, that's harder.
I actually, just side note, have been driving home through the neighborhood to get to my house because traffic sucks when I leave.
Yeah.
So I didn't realize that we're connected.
Yes, we
through the
completely
neighborhood.
are. Right. I know.
I
Well,
was
I'm
actually
not-
thinking about walking here sometime. Just leave extra early
that's
and
true.
walk because
How
it'll
far
probably
is
take
it?
me about 45 minutes.
Okay.
It's literally like 5 minutes.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
really.
Because the
Through the
Kearns
neighborhood-ish.
Library is 2 miles from the Flip House, which is across the street from that church that's right on this main road. Right here. Like you
Mhm.
pass that church.
Okay.
On 54.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Flip's on 54.
No, it's like 2 blocks in.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
It's like, it's funny because the neighborhood is actually super nice. Like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be sad if we got stuck in that one for
Yeah.
a while, to be honest, because it's like a nice neighborhood.
It's connected to this one we're in right now, right?
It's on the other side of
Um,
54,
Oh, okay.
right?
No, it's the same
Oh,
side.
it's this
Yeah,
side.
so that's
all
Then
connected.
It is connected.
It is
Yeah.
all connected.
So it's
Mhm.
behind the church? Talking about the church on 54, right?
Mhm.
It's behind the church?
No, it's on the opposite side. Like
On
when
the
I
other
was
side
coming,
of the
when I was
street.
coming down, when I was going from east to west, I took a right to come into your yard. Come in, right?
Uh-huh. Okay.
And
Yeah.
so it's the same. You take
On
you would take a
62?
right, but just like 4 blocks that way.
Hmm. Okay.
Maybe I'm confused.
Yeah,
where
maybe I am too.
it's
I'm
at.
thinking of 54th too.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah.
Either way.
I don't know what road was I on.
I don't know. I don't know.
The one where you take Redwood and then you take the Redwood exit and then you turn and
Mhm.
you take the first main.
That's on 62.
62.
Okay, so 62. So it's
Where's
off
the church?
Oh, it's across from the church on 62.
Yeah,
That's the horse
that-
stables?
Yeah,
Okay, that's not in our neighborhood.
it's right there, just like 4 blocks down.
Yeah. It's not connected to this neighborhood though.
It's not. Okay, that's what I was like.
But it's
Is it further west?
it's right by
Oh.
It's east from here.
where the
The
horse
Walmart?
stable is
Yeah.
and the church
Uh-huh.
right there.
Okay.
So yeah.
We'll
anyway.
Google it. We'll Google it.
Anyway,
Riveting
yes.
content.
Yes,
But
I
maybe
know.
we could like just rotate. I can drive to your house and we can walk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To my
Okay.
house and we can
That
walk
might work.
like 3 days a week or something.
That
I don't
might
know.
work. Yeah. Oh, okay. That
Yeah,
could
it
work.
is. It is just right there. I don't know.
Well, yeah, and you
How
have
far.
to. So I was watching this video last night, and I try not to like do this. I try not to watch content a lot about working out, and like I think sometimes it feels like it's just better just to do it and not overthink it. It's better to do it than not do it, because if you overthink it, then you might not do it. But basically, the girl was saying, well, you know, like after you're working out for so long, your body gets used to it, and so you have to up.
Yeah.
You know, you maybe you're burning 500 calories by walking, but after a while you're not anymore.
Yeah.
So you have to up it and up it, up it. And you know, I know that, but it's so
Yeah.
you know, you have to go further, you have to go harder, you have to
Well, and
drop your calories
I
more.
think too, I have leg weights. And so my thought too with the walking thing that once my heart rate drops below a certain amount with my walking that I'm doing, I do plan to start doing leg weights or bring my arm weights and do that while
Yeah.
I'm walking.
Yeah.
Or
That's true.
there's always a way to up walking. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
That's true.
Jog.
Or just go
Well-
further, like we were saying.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah,
if you
yeah.
you're doing longer
Well, and,
routes
like,
or whatever.
changing it up too, right? So like even if you're just doing different stuff, that's why like when you really get into like lifting, right? You're not going to go and do arms every day. You're going to do like tries and
Right.
thighs, and then you're going to do, you know what I mean? Like you're going to mix it up and you're going to isolate.
Yeah,
So then after it's repaired for a week, then you can
that's true.
do the next, right?
Yeah.
Because if you're doing the exact same thing every day, yeah, you're
You're never gonna.
right.
Your muscle's never gonna grow.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so you
Just
can
gonna be
you can
injured all the time.
isolate, yeah, change it up. And then how I used to coach like the weight loss and fitness stuff would be the I'm losing the word, but where you'd get your heart rate up really fast and then you would do slow.
Like hit
So
High intensity?
interval training.
yeah.
That sounds like it.
It's called something before HIIT was a thing.
Oh.
It's called something else.
Calisthenics.
It'll come to my head.
I don't know.
Yeah, but you know, you're intermittently like going back and forth, and you're gonna lose weight the fastest doing that.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I'll have to look more into it. Really, that's the other thing is like all of this is research on the best ways to do things and what's good for your body and what's, you know, what you can do to do better
But,
in the
like,
future.
makes sense too. Like, don't read too much into it that you're overwhelmed that you don't do it. But
Right.
I do like the HIIT thing too. When I'm walking, I'll like walk fast or jog until I am out of breath, and then I'll go back to walking, and you know, and even just doing those things or with weights or whatever, just you can up whatever you want.
Yeah. I was thinking the reason I do the walking the way I do is because I'm in my I'm in the vicinity of my house, so that the boys, like a lot of the mornings, they'll just like walk with me because they want something or they need something or they just want to see what I'm doing, or so I can't really leave them for
Yeah.
that's why I don't really go anywhere else. But
Yeah.
because the neighbors are always asking me, they're like, "What are you doing? You're always just walking." And I'm like, "Well, my boys are over there just reading."
They're like, "Are you looking in our window?"
Yeah, one lady, I'm pretty sure one lady is like thinking I'm creeping or something. I don't know what her deal is, but she's, the last couple times I've gone by their house, she'll like pull out and then she'll go drive down the street and she'll just stop and look at me and then she'll drive away and then I guess she turns around and then drives back again and looks
Like,
at me.
what
and
time is it?
Just in the morning
Is
usually.
it the same time?
I've only
she
done
has
one
OCD
nighttime.
or something.
No, it's
No.
not. It's
She's making
she doesn't
sure
do
you're
it
not
every time.
creeping.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Just
she
like when she goes somewhere. I don't, because I think she's
She
typically
doesn't
there.
look like a creeper. Like
You never know these days.
I'm just wearing my workout clothes. Yeah, I know. It's
Yeah,
true.
She
That's-
thinks you're gonna go steal her stuff.
I don't
or
know.
something.
I really don't know. The only reference I have of her is that like one day, the first time I saw her was with her husband, and they were just like yelling at each other out in their front yard and like just screaming at each other. They're just
Oh,
old,
she
an
thinks
old
you're
couple.
the other woman going to her
Oh,
house.
maybe. Oh
She's
no.
like, what's she doing? Waiting for me to leave so she can go over there.
maybe.
Oh, I don't know. It's so bizarre.
That's funny.
I mean, it could just be nothing too, but I just noticed
fun
that.
to
Like, why
assume.
does she keep staring at me? And then she drives by again, and I'm like, I don't know, whatever.
That's funny.
That
It's
is
funny when
great.
you start to like see into people's lives as you're walking around like multiple times a day. It's interesting.
Yeah, just go outside and you'll see what your neighbors are doing.
Yeah.
Really.
Like the one neighbor, she comes out, she's like, "You're always walking." And then she's like, my daughter lives in my basement. We just did the basement and she never leaves the house. And she's like, just like
Telling
dogging
you
on her
her life
daughter.
story.
Yeah. The very first time I meet her, I'm all,
funny.
okay.
You're like, walk with me. Let's talk it
Yeah,
out, girl.
really.
Let's go.
Oh my gosh.
I
it
love
was-
that.
No, I don't want to be part of that. I'm like, what do you mean? Why are you telling a
Oh,
stranger that?
Tell me more.
You want to know more?
Yes,
Oh,
that's
okay.
how I would have been like, let's walk.
You
Come
wanna know
walk with
the-
me. I did
the
that when we
details.
lived in the trailer park, and the lady was like, let's walk, and we had some conversations. But I was
Really?
like, all right, hopefully anything I said to her sticks, and she can make better choices. Because I asked permission to be blunt, and she gave it to me. So
Oh, well, that's good. That's a good sign. I feel like that's a good sign.
You got
That's what
my
I was going to
earful.
say about our group is like, it's so nice to, you know, like we have space for each other and we give each other like grace and stuff, but we also like don't feel uncomfortable about saying something, you know, like that we're thinking.
Yeah.
Or, you know,
Yeah.
like, especially I think Tiffany, because she is more of a, maybe she's more of an A-type. I don't know. I'm not quite sure, but she's just more like, you know, she'll tell you how it is. And I
Yeah,
kind of,
she's
I
But she'll
appreciate
also
that.
accept it. So I wouldn't
Right.
say she's an A.
So she's
because
giving you
A's don't
space still.
accept it. Yeah.
Right.
But she's definitely done her work to have a strong personality and be comfortable speaking.
What
her.
type
Right.
personality am
Where she's
I?
at. I just did a
I
lot
don't
of
know
research
either.
on type A personality because they're the hardest people to sell to because you can't
Oh.
sell to them. You have to tell them it's not for them. And so I
Oh, you have to do like the reverse
Yeah,
psychology.
reverse psychology.
That
Yeah.
makes total sense.
So-
actually,
yeah, so I know a lot about that in that scenario,
oh,
right?
interesting. Yeah,
For that, and especially like even I do sales now with my SEO company, right? So like certain business owners, they're like, I don't need you. Like my business is great. I don't need more service. You know what I like?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, my bad. all right.
Yeah. Interesting.
You just have to, and there's different ways to talk to different people. But if you're working with an ego, you got to know how to work with an ego.
Yeah. I wouldn't say you're A-type. I don't. Yeah, I don't.
say A-type,
No,
no.
I know type A is like organized and stuff, but
That's
the
not the only thing.
downside of it, I don't feel like I am.
No.
So I
here-
don't know what I am.
Do you want my? We're gonna go down a little rabbit hole. We'll keep it short. So there's all these different, because I was super into the Enneagram for a long time. Like, right? Like I was like, that's me. Like I'm a 9 with an 8 wing. Like, like all of it. It was like you had your number and you had your wing, and it was like that's what you are. You have your personality types. You have the colors. You have like all the stuff, right? And then you do the research on all the people that wrote those, and most of them are more on the demonic side.
I was gonna say evil.
Yeah.
I've heard it's evil.
Yeah.
That's all
and
I've ever
so, especially the Enneagram, that guy and the guy that started Scientology have
Oh,
some
okay.
stuff, and you can research the two. And
That stuff's
there's
so
quite a
fascinating to
bit.
me.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But so when you're putting yourself in a box, God can't work on your heart or the universe or wherever you're at, right? Like you can't, you're putting yourself in a box to not change. Right? So even like doing this challenge, right? If you're like, well, this is me. Like, this is me. I'm in this box, and this is what I'm going to do around it. Like, you're not going to grow. You're not going to
Yep.
change because you're giving yourself this excuse of like, this is where I'm at and this is who I am. Is it?
Yeah.
Because God has something else for you, and you're holding to something else, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're not allowing yourself to change for.
We've talked about that a lot. Like not being open to understanding things that's absolutely the wrong way to do things. Like if, as long as you don't know anything, then you're able to
Yeah.
learn.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
But if you think you know everything, then that's it.
Like why would you learn?
Yeah.
Why would you try to learn anything if you think you know everything? It just doesn't work. And that's the issue, I think, is when you think you already know it, you can't be open to learn it, and then you won't.
Yeah. Well,
Exactly. And in so many ways, not just like learning about a subject or anything. It's like life lessons.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Personality and all of it.
you have to be willing to bend and I like in the book, the My Badass or You're a Badass. She does talk about that a lot too. Like being open to the universe giving you what you need all the time. And that's how I feel about God. It's the same thing. If you are really submissive to God, he will
Provide.
Well, I mean, even if you're not, you'll always be provided for.
Yeah.
No matter what. So, and she does talk about that in the book, like where she goes to live in like Japan or something, and she's just kind of like living on the road, nowhere to live really. She sold her house, and she's just like, I'm just traveling, and just like all this stuff just keeps falling into my lap. All these opportunities, I've always got somewhere nice to stay, and yeah, I think that's such a cool, like, awesome thing to know about the world is if you just are open to it, then it's
will
there.
come.
Yeah.
But when we try to control it sometimes and want it on our timing.
The more
and,
you try,
know, yes.
you have no control. The more you want to control, you can't.
It's
You
so
just can't.
frustrating because I want to control.
I know.
She's over there like,
Yep.
Can relate.
I know all about that.
But I mean, when you
Tell
can
us about
see
it.
that, but we've talked about that too. When you can see that about yourself, you can work on that,
Yeah.
and
Definitely been something I've been working on a lot lately.
there's good control and bad control for sure. Like it's not a black and white, but it's,
Well, and Clyde always talks about that too, like how when you're working on something and you're not getting what you're supposed to be getting, and you're not understanding what the lesson is there, it just keeps happening to you over and over and over again.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Or even in life, you will repeat the same mistake over and over and over again until you get the lesson.
Yes.
It's like
Yeah.
God's just like thumping you. It's like, come on, dude. Like,
Yeah.
are
We
you
just
gonna get
figure it out this
Are you
time,
gonna get it?
please.
Are you gonna get it? And
Yeah,
you
when
never
we
do.
went camping, our truck was like trying to break down on the way up. Like we were like 20 minutes away from camp, and he just kept
Yeah.
saying, he's like, I don't know what lesson I'm supposed to be learning because this has happened to us for like 2 years straight. Like every camping
it's
trip,
like-
something is going wrong. He's like, I don't know what I'm
It's
supposed to
like
be learning here.
4 out of 5 trips, and it's not like
Yeah.
always small. Like I blew up an engine, I blew up a transmission. It's like not always just small. Yeah.
The tire was like coming off.
Yeah,
at
we
one
almost
point.
lost a tire. Like it was gonna fall off if we just
Somebody
kept
ran
going.
into our trailer in that same trip.
Same trip. Somebody
3 things
rear-ended
went
the
wrong that
trailer.
same trip. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm rebuilding the truck right now.
Did you
like-
pray for patience?
Well, I was patient through all of it.
Yeah.
Like I didn't get angry at all. Maybe I'm
Passed.
supposed to get angry. That's the issue.
show some more emotion.
Yeah. You know, like
I don't think
when the
that's-
truck broke on this trip, I'm just like, well, maybe we'll just camp here. I don't know.
We just live here now.
Yeah, this is where we live now. We were just joking. Like, yeah.
Yeah. You know, yeah. I mean, really, I think it is just being able to, because after we sort of talked about like what we're going to plan on doing from now on to maybe help with the situation, he was like, well, and when we drove home, yeah, everything was fine. He didn't do anything to the truck. It was just totally fine when we were driving home. And so he's like, well, maybe we learned our lesson and we just got to,
Yeah. Well, I still think it's broken, but I know why it's not, dying, basically. The pump's on its way out, so, yeah.
yeah, anyway, I think it's just interesting to, if you can remain calm and you can, have some, I don't know, what's the word for it? Be humble
Yeah.
in those moments.
Yeah,
I
or
understand
it's
there's
like
gotta be-
You wonder, too, like, if you didn't break down there, what would have happened? Like,
Oh,
that
yes.
breakdown seems like a negative to you in the moment, but does it keep you from driving off a cliff or something like that,
That's so true.
You-
You don't know.
you
You
just
don't
don't
know
know.
what was
You-
ahead.
Exactly. You don't know what you don't know what the point
I
of it
feel
was.
like when we die, we're gonna get this vision of like, this is all the things that could have happened. Like I want to watch a video of like,
So you can be
would've
like,
done this,
oh,
this would have happened. Like,
oh, now I
just
get it.
real quick, just all in your brain, like, oh, it all makes sense.
Yeah.
Like,
Like how when you become a parent and you like understand your parents a little better, you're like, oh, so he can show you. Yeah.
it'd be
This
so
is-
cool to get a video.
Yeah.
Just uploaded into your brain of like, here you go.
Oh, that would be a nice little treat. Man.
You're like, look what I dodged.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else there is to talk about. What do you
I want to go on at least one more mom's hike.
that would be cool.
Before
Yeah.
the end, or before it gets too
Because was
cold.
that was before it started, right? The 75 hard? That hike we went on?
No, I think we had just started.
I can't remember.
It was
but
the
I
very
think-
beginning though, right?
It was the
Because we
beginning.
should just do the same one.
See how
and
easy it is
see-
this time.
yes.
Oh,
it
maybe.
probably that would
Yeah.
be fun.
Because then you can be
Just
like,
to see.
remember.
I mean, I
we remembered
still-
how hard it was going up, and then
Yeah.
I just remember thinking like it was going to be really a lot harder than it was for me.
You want me
I
to
was
go
really-
face a bear
Yeah.
again? A potential
she's like,
face
no,
of a bear?
my trauma.
I did a hike in Burbank.
You
The one
guys
I
be
can,
text
therapeutic.
you can take firearms.
Yeah. We probably should.
Yeah.
Some PTSD flashbacks come up.
No, I was on
No
that
way.
hike in Burbank that I text you guys, right? And for one, I mean, this was before I had Kindle, so like at least 5, maybe 6 years ago. I like ran from my hotel to the peak and back, like
No problem.
no problem. And I was like pushing my legs
Oh,
to
no.
make it up. I was
Give yourself some.
dying. I'm so sore. My toe was like blistered on the way back. I was
Oh
just
no.
like, oh my hell. And so it was like, I was like, oh, like, okay. I thought I was like getting in really good shape on this, but if we're comparing to 5 years ago,
Oh no. I wondered if that
No.
was California. I didn't even ask, but it looked like it to me. I was
Yeah, it
like,
was
I wonder if
Burbank.
that's California. Oh, cool.
yeah, I was on the opposite side of like the Hollywood sign.
There's
Oh,
a hike
cool.
I want to do. I mean, I'm down to do that one again too.
Mm-hmm.
That would be cool. But there is another one that's about the same distance and it's also pretty hard. And now I can't think about it or I can't remember it. I think it's like Bridal Veils, maybe.
Bridal Veil Falls.
Oh,
I've heard
Maybe
of that.
that's the one that's not. Maybe that one's in Spanish Fork. I don't know. But anyway, that one's challenging.
Is it?
But it has a beautiful view. at the
oh, I
top.
love it. So we should do a picnic at the top.
Yeah. You
That'd be
could.
fun.
You could.
I'll have to plan something.
Yeah.
Bring a bottle of
But yeah,
champagne.
I do feel like the endurance is definitely up
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
been nice and noticeable. And,
Yeah.
but like you said, my biggest thing that I have seen is the mental, like the whole my whole mentality is different, and I think that that's probably more important than anything too, because that's going to push you, continue you forward, you know, keep you going.
Yeah, I mean, I've always heard that. I want to say it was Joe Rogan that said something like that. It's like it's not about, it's not about like where you're going to. It's like the moments where you don't want to do it are the most important moments. The moments where you like just have to push through and do it, even though you don't want to do it. Right? The days where it's like hard to do it. Those are the most important moments because now you. I don't know why actually, but it feels like that is true
Well,
because
it gets you through a mental barrier that
Yeah.
prepares you for the next barrier. The same situation, it's not going to be the same. It's not going to be
Yeah.
as hard. It's not going to be a challenge. There will always be challenges, but that specific challenge, if you face it and you get past it, it's done. You're
Yeah.
done.
yeah, and some days are going to be really hard for some reason. I don't know why. Why
Yeah.
like some days are easy and some days are hard.
It's annoying.
It is.
Some days you're just like, you're just like spiritually or whatever you want to call it. You're like being attacked and you're
Yeah.
like, what is going
Yeah.
on?
Mm-hmm.
Some days are
Being
just
beat down.
brutal. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm definitely been diving into the whole cycle, to our cycles and how much they affect everything.
Like the different phases of our cycle.
Yes,
Yeah.
That's been very interesting to me. And I never learned anything about that. Growing up,
Yeah.
it wasn't that. Like you had
Yeah.
PMS on your period and that was it.
Yeah.
And that was all there was. There wasn't cycles back then, you know.
Yeah. Well, nobody talked about it. I'm
It
sure
was-
they, yeah.
Yeah.
They probably knew more about it than,
Well, it's interesting the amount of research, the lack of
Yeah.
research
There's not a lot.
on us.
Oh,
is
yeah.
mind blowing
On women?
just women and hormones and cycles and like all of that. There's not a lot at all.
even throughout history, like I love a lot of history, and anytime they start talking about periods or anything really personal at all, especially when it comes to women, there's like barely anything out there about how they used to do things or what they used or
I know there's countries that they would sit in a pit the whole time. Like they just here's your box to stand in. Like like I remember doing some history stuff on it once, and I was like, what the hell?
yeah, I've heard that. Go away for a week and just hang out with your girlfriends. Doesn't
I
sound
mean,
too bad.
I'll do that.
I'll
but-
do that.
Good luck.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, I don't know.
But-
Yeah, I think that's interesting. I guess I just don't really want to put a lot of emphasis on that because I worry that would be too much information for me that like, I don't want to
Put
Yeah.
use
yourself in
any of
that
that as a
box.
crutch. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
No, that
exactly.
makes sense. I think I've used it as, I mean, it's very intriguing to me, but it explains things for me, and I think that's why I think that's why I love psychology. When I went to college, that's what I was going for, because I wanted to know more about me more than anything, you know, like what my mind was thinking and why, and then I learned, you know, other people and whatever, but that's why I enjoy. That's why I'm intrigued by it, and is because it explains some things, and it allows me to give myself some patience during certain moments where I'm like, why am I just feeling like blah today?
Yeah.
Why can't I just push through, you know?
Yeah, I
So
mean
it
that makes
provides
sense.
some-
According to like how you are, that makes
But I
complete sense
understand
that you would want to know
what
that.
you're saying.
Because for me, I feel like I dread it because
Yeah.
now I know I'm like, oh man, now I'm gonna have to go through this like
So you don't want to be able to use it as an excuse,
Right.
Is kind of, and that makes perfect sense, and I can see where that.
Yeah.
I'm like a 50-50 of you two.
really.
Yeah. Yeah. Because, I mean, like, they're just really, like, I was raised, like, if it's not broken, like, you go. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I played volleyball with a sprained ankle because it wasn't broke. Like, you know what I mean? Just tape it tighter. Like, it was very much like, I don't know. Even
Yeah.
when I went and got my tonsils out, they were like, what is going on? And I was like, well, I've been spitting up blood for the past 2 weeks because I run my 5 miles every morning. And they're like, what is wrong with
That's
you?
not good.
But I like that. exercise is my drug. Like it's always been. The past few years have been, because of postpartum and then my concussion, like it threw me off, and now like that's why I'm like, you guys like came at the right time, like wanting to do
Oh,
this
good,
because
'cause you have said that a
had
few
to get
times.
out of that. Like I had to get out of
Yeah.
just that. Like
I
it was
think
years
we
of
did
being
this
in
for
it,
the
you
right
know?
time for
Yeah.
everybody
Yeah.
in their own ways. Like
Yep.
it's interesting to hear everybody's
Mhm.
like Leah. I feel like
She's
I'm
so
glad.
quiet. I'm
she
like,
is very
we
quiet,
need
and
to
she's
pull it out of her a
going
little
through
more.
a lot. She's had a lot of funerals lately,
Yeah.
so I think she's kind of dealing with that stuff.
She
But
is.
I'm glad that she was there when we were like chatting, and she was like, I want to do this too, because
Oh, yeah.
imagine if she wasn't, she wouldn't be included in any of this, and
Yeah.
and I know that it's impacted her,
Mhm.
and she needed that, so.
Mhm.
I didn't think
Just
I don't
nice.
think I understood the context of what you were talking about. Like when you would text us about that, like how
Yeah.
you're like, you guys are like, I'm getting back into the, and I didn't really understand like what that
Because
meant
you guys
necessarily.
didn't know the old me. Like
No.
you guys don't even, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's so far back.
Mhm.
It's crazy.
I know. Yeah.
I was
same.
like coaching this shit. Like that's the hard part for me, and like my like brain is like, ugh. Like I was leading these things. I was coaching these things. I was, doing all that.
And because of the
multiple
accident,
times a
you
week.
had to stop.
No, I got out of like the MLM I was doing I got out of just coaching, and I had my website on the side, and I was still help people, but I just wasn't getting paid to coach anymore, and I want to revamp it all just in a complete different way, right? Because when
Okay.
you're doing it through MLM, you're like making your percent, and like you do all this extra on the side, and I was like, that's not. Because
Yeah.
of who I am and my knowledge, I was like doing way more,
Yeah.
and I'm not.
So
a
you're gonna have like your
salesperson.
own business doing it?
Yeah, like I created like a 90-day program,
Oh, okay.
and it has like a full, like it's a mental health one. Like so you get like a text, like a I don't know, like a word I'm looking for, like a motivational text every day, and then you get your workout for the day, and then I have like basically like a couch to 5K one, and then I have 9 different ones besides that, so like different levels of like a 90-day program. I
Okay.
have like 10 different 90-day programs that I've written out depending on like what level you're on, and I have one more aspect to it that I want to finish creating for people that want like a biblical sense on it,
Oh, that's cool.
if they want it. So like that would be an optional add-on. And then I wanted to launch it last year, but like again, right? Like I mean,
Just chaotic.
we left and like did the road trip for a year, and then we came back, and like just I had postpartum way worse than I ever thought I had, and like
Oh.
dealing with that, and I felt like I was like finally getting out of it, and then I had some other like personal shit that I was dealing with, and then the concussion, it just like was like bam, like it just like opened the door, like Pandora's box. It was like, okay, you're just gonna deal with all this shit now, like here you go.
Yeah.
So that's what this past year has been, is like dealing with like the fact that I tested for PTSD after like tiny minor little car accident is insane. But it's because it like unlocked past PTSD that I was like, I'm fine.
Right. Interesting.
And so, yeah, I was like, oh, like,
Stuff
and
you
then
haven't
not being
dealt
able to
with.
work out because the herniated discs and the concussion, like, I was like, hey, like something's got to give, like I have to like push myself through this. And then you guys are like, oh, I'd barely just started like walking, running a mile, and now I'm like, I can almost like full speed, which isn't that fast, but not jog, but like run 3 miles now
Oh, nice.
every day.
Wow.
I
The
got
whole
a
time.
long way to go to
I
get
know,
to that.
Me too.
Yeah, I mean, I stop at the dog park, which is exactly like half, and let the dog get water and run and
Nice.
play for a little bit. If I get talking, it's a little longer, and then run back.
Nice.
Owen will take the e-bike and pull Kendall, or I'll take the stroller and he'll do the scooter,
Cool.
and it's been like every morning.
Nice.
But I mean, it took a lot to get to that.
Yeah, it does. I know.
Yeah.
I know. I need to research more on like the proper way of running and stuff, I think, because I started running, but then my knees were hurting and I'm like, that's not right. I don't think that's right.
Let me know
You
when
know,
you find it, because
my-
I need to.
David's
Yeah.
orthopedic surgeon and like his doctor said that like running's not necessarily good for you.
That's
It's
what I've
not
heard.
good for your
yeah,
knees.
it's true.
Mhm.
So she recommends a bike or walking
Right.
or all these other things, but running itself can be
Mm-hmm.
damaging
Mhm.
to your knees and your other bones.
Yeah.
So,
I
That was
feel like
interesting.
jogging is harder than running. Like jogging, you're almost like
and
stepping
for
harder,
me or
right?
anybody carrying extra weight, it's even that much
Yeah.
more damaging, I
Yeah.
imagine, right?
That's and that's kind of what I was thinking. I'm like, maybe it's just I just have too much weight on me. I need to research more on it because I need to do it. I need to do something more than walking. Some days
Yeah.
I'm just
Then
like,
sprint.
this isn't enough.
Do the
Sprint.
whole like I want to go get
Sprint,
a
yeah, I could do that.
backpack, a weighted
Intermittent.
backpack, or start wearing my leg weights or something.
true, I guess,
because
yeah.
that's just adding. That's upping it. You know, that's
Yeah, when we went to the Aerospace Museum, I was just wearing my freaking gallon of water. and I'm like,
Oh,
I'm so
nice.
exhausted by the end of the day. I'm like, I'm going to count some of this as my workout because it was really heavy.
yeah.
I think if you're like, okay, I'm gonna if you do a block, like do your 3 sides and then sprint your 1, and then walk your
Yeah,
3
that's a
sides
good
and
idea.
Sprint your 1.
Yeah.
You know?
Sprinting might be a good thing to get
And
into.
then you're just you're getting the heart rate up, you're letting it go back down, which is going to be great for
Mm-hmm.
all the things, but you're also getting into that,
Yeah.
that run. That's what I did a lot on the mile that I started doing.
Maybe I should do that. Well, I've just been doing like a minute on, a minute off, and then like a minute and a half, and then a minute and a half
Huh.
off, and
Like on the
working out,
treadmill or
but
what?
just in the neighborhood.
Okay.
The treadmill's I think easier to do it, but
You have more cushion for
Yeah.
sure. And even if you run on the road versus the sidewalk,
Yeah.
it's actually there is a difference.
oh really?
Mhm.
So like the asphalt you think will be
It's
easier?
soft. It is softer.
It's not as hard.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe I should do that. Yeah, they just paved our road,
Yeah.
and somebody wrote boobs in it. And I sent it to Clyde. I'm like, did you do this?
No, I rolled an appliance across it
Yeah.
with an appliance dolly and left 2 marks.
Yeah.
And then today I was moving my truck that doesn't run, and so we were dragging it out there, and I left these big old
Yeah.
tire marks in it, like where I had to turn.
There's
so.
freaking like big sticks and leaves like
Yeah,
just
it's not that-
caked in
it's-
asphalt everywhere. I'm all, what the
It's
hell?
not that good. The last time
not
they
that
did
good.
it was better.
It's funny.
So
But,
one other thing that I do plan to change is I am going to start being more fine tuning my food, my macros, and because at this point I'm not paying attention to that at all. Like purposefully, I have
Yeah.
not been looking at it, not been thinking about it as much as possible. I mean, when I'm eating something, I'm like, this is a lot more carbs than it probably should be eating, you know, because it's just
yeah.
ingrained. But I'm not letting it make me feel bad because I'm doing my calorie, and that's all
You
I
you
care
did
about
what
right
you
now.
committed to.
Yes,
Right, yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So now that it's over, that is one thing I plan to start fine tuning, and I'll probably start Monday. Just probably low carb, and then staying within my calories, but probably just trying to do more low carb.
So are
For
you gonna do anything over the weekend like that you haven't had in a while?
No, I don't think so. Not specifically. No, I don't plan to.
Anybody else?
I feel like if I were to just like
Go ham.
go all out,
Yeah.
that's me getting off track,
Yeah.
and
Right.
I
Yeah.
and ruining my streak, my habits,
Yeah,
and
Waiting
I
for
like-
Leatherbees.
yeah, I
Yeah.
am waiting for Leatherbees, but when I have Leatherbees, I'm still planning to stay within my calorie amount. Like there's,
Yeah, when I first met
If I
Rachel, like
go
the
over-
first couple times, I think it was we were at a party and I was like, it's a cheat day, and you're like, I don't do cheat days, I do cheat meals. And then I thought about it and I'm like, that's probably a good idea actually, because I just go crazy on my cheat day. Yeah, I know.
Do one.
Oh,
Wasn't it? Yeah, I was like, yikes.
that's funny.
I mean, you weren't
that's
saying
what
it to be
stuck out.
rude. No, I just remember
I'm just-
thinking
yeah.
that. No,
Yeah.
it wasn't rude. I was just like, oh yeah, you know what? That makes more sense to me that you would just, instead of just like let yourself go crazy.
yeah, yeah.
Because
It
then,
does
or at
make
least
sense.
for me, because I feel guilty about it, right? Like
Yeah.
after.
Yeah.
Well, and then you're recovering from it, right? It's like if you were to be like, well, I don't drink, but I'm going to drink today.
Yeah.
And you're like
just go
wasted. You're
crazy.
hungover tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's really no different.
That's true.
exactly why I don't plan to
Yeah.
binge out all weekend or something, just
Yeah.
because I know how I feel that hangover effect
Yep.
will
Yeah.
linger.
And it's
Yeah.
that much harder to then keep going.
Yeah.
But I'm going to give myself stuff
Just-
here and there.
Yeah.
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 What
and
about you,
should.
Clyde? Are you planning on going all out this weekend?
No, I'm gonna go just do a motor swap, so I won't even have time to do anything.
To eat at all?
anyways, Yeah.
And unless I make him something and bring it to
that's
him.
bad too. You
Yeah.
gotta eat.
I
That's
know.
I tell my husband, I'm like, would you eat? Like that is so bad for you. I was
So-
working all day. I didn't
Yep.
think of
Yeah,
it.
sometimes
know.
you're
Do
just
that.
working.
That's what I do.
I just bring him a smoothie
constantly.
once in a while.
Yeah. I
I'm like, hey, do you want something to eat?
feel like
'Cause, yeah,
men
he-
don't get hangry like women do.
No, probably not. I don't know.
Maybe
do you?
some.
Do you get hangry?
I don't.
I definitely get hangry.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What do you
no,
do when you get hungry? You just like don't think about it and it goes away?
Just. I don't think so. I don't know. I don't know that I ever get hungry. Really, it's like.
I want you to
I mean-
process this over the next week.
Well, I'm
Maybe think
so
about it.
habit oriented
Mhm.
that my meals are planned out, so I probably just don't get hungry like I should. I should probably eat, with more time in between, like the incremental fasting or whatever. But I just don't. I don't know. Yeah, it's like 'cause at work in the morning I have my lunch, and it's just like the same time every day.
You're like,
Same
you got
exact
your
thing
breakfast
every
before
day.
you go. You got your lunch at your lunch break. You got
Yeah.
your like that.
Yeah,
You mean?
and so
Okay.
and I'm usually eating while I'm driving. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just that's when I take my breaks. I don't even take a lunch break.
Yeah.
I'm driving, so yeah. And then lunch is usually when I'm driving. So breakfast is kind of when I'm driving, lunch is when I'm driving, and
Mm-hmm.
then dinner's whatever with the kids or whatever. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I just don't think about it. I don't know.
And I feel like that's all I think about.
Yes.
I feel like I'm constantly like meal planning.
I mean, so you're not like you don't ever like get involved in a task and like so deep into it that you just don't think about eating.
No.
I do.
You
A
do?
lot.
work.
You do
I
that?
don't eat breakfast,
Yeah.
and I more than half the week don't eat lunch because I'm so busy.
Yeah. See, you can't
Yeah.
do that.
Because I'm so
do that.
I don't even think about it. I don't feel hungry. I don't get hungry. I'm so hyper focused on what I'm doing that I eventually get hungry, and then that's my habit, or was my habit, is then I binge. And
Well, and the problem with
But
that
now
too
I-
is when you don't eat for so long, that next meal you do eat, you need it to be very precise because now you have to restart your metabolism. So if you don't eat all day and then you're like, I'm going to just kind of eat like a shit meal, like, okay, but it's not doing anything,
Yeah.
right? Like if
Yeah.
you're not
Yeah.
kickstarting your metabolism with that meal to start it, then that is just going to go straight to fat because
How do you do
you're
that?
not utilizing its energy. So
macros. And
yeah, it definitely has macros. Like you
Not
want a little bit
eating
of sugar,
crappy.
but sugars and everything. So like, let's say you have you're trying to start a fire, you're trying to start your metabolism, right? So you need your sugar because you're not going to start a log on fire. That
That's
doesn't work.
true.
So if you just eat protein, you eat all day and you just ate protein, it's not going to do anything. Because that's like you got a match, or a lighter under a log. Like what are you going to do with that?
Yeah.
Nothing. And so you got to like kind of we talked about, that class we just did a little bit like what are your energy sources, right? Like sugar is this, it's up, it's down, okay? But that's kindling. It's up, it's down, but you need the kindling to start the twigs,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then you need the twigs to start the log. And so if you have your a good healthy balance of sugar, carbs, and protein, it's going to help you kickstart. And then like things like green tea and there's other like things that are beneficial to if you really need that kickstart, right? Like if you have a slow metabolism already, you might need some help. If your metabolism's healthy and you just slowed it down because you didn't eat, then you'll be fine just eating like a balanced
Right.
meal. That's
Not just like a bag of Doritos or something.
right.
Dang.
Yeah. Which fills it.
Sounds
like,
really good.
And that's, because I'll do the same thing at work. Like I'll get, especially the early shows, right? So like get up before the hotel has breakfast and I get on my flight. And it's funny because I didn't used to be all this way when I worked all the time, but I only work like maybe 6 days a month now, if that. And so I'm like, I love my passengers. Like I'm so excited to see who I'm going to get on the next flight and like chat them up, especially when
It's
you
just
get
more
first
fun
class.
now
It's
at work.
so fun.
Yeah.
I met the coolest. I met a lady and I bought her book. I was like, we were like landing and I was like, all right, like, it's ordered on Amazon. Like I'm so excited
that's
to read
cool.
it. I just like meeting people and talking to strangers. It's like my jam. But and then I look at the clock and I'm like, I didn't eat all day. all day.
Yeah.
'Cause I was so excited about just hanging out with everyone.
Yeah, that's how I do it.
Oh my gosh, I don't think like that ever. I never don't eat all day.
But
That's
you're
so
home
crazy.
with the kids all day.
Yeah.
Like, let's
Well,
say you
I'm
went
home
to
with the
Smith's.
kids all day too.
no,
Maybe
at
you're a
work too.
different Mindset.
Different kind of crazy.
Yeah, I mean, we
well,
all are.
I mean, there are times when I'm at home with the kids, but I'm so focused in. But I also work from here, so
Yeah.
well, like I could be down here editing. I wouldn't get hungry.
No.
I could edit
that's crazy to me.
all night.
It's
and
Yeah.
crazy to me. I am
wouldn't
always
even think
thinking
about
eating.
eating. Sometimes the kids come up to me and they're like, "Hey, are we gonna eat dinner?"
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Oh,
"Oh,
it's
yeah,
that
I guess we
time."
should do that." huh?"
There's
Like,
not
I'm
much
hungry.
at home that will
Yeah.
distract me like that.
Oh, really? Yeah, I mean, me either. I don't.
Because you're constantly walking in and out of the kitchen anyways. It's not like it's not
Yeah.
in your face. Like,
Yep. Well, even at work, even on a busy night at work, like I'm just like waiting to eat.
Well,
Are you?
So
you
excited
don't
to
do
eat.
hobbies either, though. So
well,
it's
your
like,
hobby is baking and stuff.
Right.
So
I know it's gonna be a tough
Yeah.
one.
How
huh?
well,
I know.
Yeah.
how did canning go today?
It was really good. It
Okay,
was really
but
good.
how it took how long? Like, did you feel the same way today, or did you like not think about food while you were?
Oh
like,
no, I definitely thought about food.
Okay.
I definitely
so,
did.
mean, you're
yeah,
right.
but
So-
it's like you said, if you're dealing with food and that's your thing, like I don't know.
Yeah, I know, and I thought about
Definitely.
that too because it's.
What about when you made that? Were you like,
No, I wasn't. I guess.
or did you ever get
He's
so
pointing at a
in
big
the
quilt
zone in
t-shirt.
it?
I know. I wish you could turn the camera and show it. It's so cool.
Yeah, I mean, I guess not. I guess I wasn't thinking at that point about food a whole lot. I was just busy.
Yeah.
I just chose the wrong hobby, I guess, because I just wanted to eat half a loaf of zucchini bread.
well,
Wow.
and my thing is not necessarily a good thing. I mean, it can be an issue because then it causes the binge
Right.
mindset.
Yeah.
If I don't be careful
Yeah.
what
and,
I'm eating for dinner,
Yeah.
it could be bad.
and you
Um,
might need to reach for the quick thing since
Yeah.
you didn't plan it.
That's
Exactly.
true.
So,
yeah,
Yeah, I did
that's
that
true.
last
I do
night.
plan a lot because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, planning can make you eat right.
I mean, our leather bees next week. I will probably starve myself all day to have cheese fries and
It's better to allow it to be a cheat and eat healthy throughout the day so your metabolism's ready for it.
my dinner will be ice cream and
No.
fries.
No. If you eat healthy throughout the day and then allow yourself the cheat to go over the
I
calories,
knew she was gonna give me
it's gonna be
shit.
better for sure. Like that's not how
No,
it works.
it makes sense.
What did we talk about in the class? We have our snack. What's the nutritional value from it, right? Like if you don't give your body the nutritional value throughout the day, you're not giving yourself the proper energy source, the nutrients.
And that's still the same. It
Everything
just
else.
is the same cycle.
Yeah.
She's right, I think.
Yes,
It's the same
she
cycle.
is. She is. It is.
because,
It is a bad cycle.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's your challenge is to not do that. Knowing that you're going to cheat, being okay with going over because it's a cheat meal. You're not a cheat day. You're going to eat throughout the day and allow yourself and give yourself the grace to have extra.
Yeah. So what would you
Because you're trying to
recommend? So what
excuse
kind of
it.
meal would you recommend that she have?
Prior to.
Yes.
Just eat healthy throughout the day. Like eat high. You already know me. I'm like high protein. Eat high protein. It's sustainable. It keeps your, the shitty part about it though is when you do your high protein throughout the day, when you're hungry, and you really do know. And that was my problem when I did that hike was I had got to the hotel. It was 5:00 and I was like, I'm starving because I was so good on my nutrient timing for the past couple days that my metabolism was like ready. And I had some like Alfredo, like chicken Alfredo. And so I was like, all right, but I need time to settle. So I'm going to go print some stuff out. I showed you my picture. And so I ate my chicken Alfredo, but I didn't give myself enough time. So I started running and I was like, oh, I'm doing like the Michael Scott, like puke up the
Oh, yeah.
Alfredo on his 5K. I was like, oh. I thought it was going to come up like for sure, but it didn't. Right. But like, so just timing it. Don't go running after it.
I'll be going straight to bed.
Yeah.
But like have eggs in the morning. Like just the
But I
canned
don't-
chicken
I
salsa
don't
that I
eat
showed you that
breakfast.
recipe.
I can't.
Okay, then
makes
do
me
a healthy
nauseous.
lunch. And then
Also,
if we're going
how
at
does
7,
this
eat
tie
something at, like,
into
5.
intermittent fasting?
then you just time it out. You eat as soon as you're going to break your fast. Because I agree with intermittent fasting in so many ways. So you just do your
I
nutrient
think I'm
timing
just
throughout.
so used to
the
it.
time you
OMAD.
eat.
Like that's my body's used to it. Like I don't get that hungry during the day.
That's not good.
I know, but
There's not a benefit to that.
yeah. But I have been
You're
I have
storing.
been
When you
eating
do eat, you store it instead of
lunch
using it for energy and
or
burning
a
it.
snack. I'm working on it.
It's getting heated in here.
I'm working on it.
I think, but
No, and this is like
do
I
you
said.
think you did anything?
my
But I feel
focus.
like you did so much different already. Like you've made so many like good changes.
I
Yeah.
have,
So
and
far.
and the fine tuning of my food choices, macros,
Yeah.
all of that is
Yeah.
my next goal.
But
is my next
but don't go extreme.
thing, and I
Baby
won't.
steps,
And
yeah.
so I need to set myself some goals for that,
Mhm.
some achievable goals, and maybe that's just making sure I eat lunch every day, and
Yeah.
starting there, and just
Well, just pick your time. If you're like, hey, I'm gonna do intermittent fasting, so this is the time I'm gonna stop eating at night, right? But eat. That means you like if you're gonna stop eating at 7, that means you eat at 6:30. It doesn't mean, well, I ate at 4 and I'm not gonna eat at 7.
Yeah.
No, you eat until that time. So you eat at the end of that time, then you allow your body that time, and then you eat at the start time. And if you were to do that for yourself, I think that would help you not make it extreme.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Because I think
Mhm.
some people are better at intermittent fasting than others just because that's how they're just used to it. And I go for it. She's
I think
like,
I might
"No."
try it actually. I think
No.
I've been sort
No,
of doing
I-
it, but I think I want to commit to it
Yeah. Well, I
and
think
try it and see
I
if it
can
works.
do that. I feel like I can add lunch and make sure that I'm eating something
Mm-hmm.
so that I'm not doing a 22-hour fast or whatever.
Yeah, that's
Because that's kind of not every day, but probably
That's
like 3
crazy.
or 4 days a week. I just eat dinner and I enjoy it. And I mean, it's a healthy dinner. It has low carb,
Right.
high protein, but
But if your metabolism's not going, it's not going to do what you want it to do.
Yeah.
As much of it, right?
well, and it's not going where it could be. I'm sure. Yeah. I know that me upping my activity to 90 minutes a day is definitely.
Yeah, how did you work out and not eat after you
Helpful.
worked out? Like, how were you not
I
hungry
did.
after
I
you
mean,
worked
when we
out?
went on hikes, I ate.
Okay.
After something intense,
You were
I
hungry.
do eat. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't eat breakfast, even if I exercise that morning. Like I have my coffee and
Mm-hmm.
I'm not hungry. Like the thought
Because I've been running in the morning, I've actually been skipping breakfast, which is like crazy for me. But I've kind of liked it. I like breakfast food, so then I'll like do like a breakfast at 11. And I have liked that. So I'm like, I get the appeal. I get totally what you're saying. There.
Yeah.
For sure.
of, well, I'll start eating more.
It's hard because we have so many different mental games we play in our head
Yes.
with food.
Oh my
and
God.
it's just not right. Like
With everything.
yeah.
With
Well,
everything.
food, everything. Yeah, we
Mhm.
want to have healthy relationships in all ways, and healthy relationship with food is one of them. Healthy relationship with exercising. I got in a huge discussion, we'll call it, with someone
Hi, honey.
about that. Right when I was like, well, like it was a bodybuilder, and I was like, that's no different than like a drug. You know what I mean? Like you're going extreme. That's not good for you.
Yeah.
Like you know.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you gotta stay in the middle somewhere. You can't. Yeah.
Moderation.
You can't go too extreme.
Yeah, they had snacks on the way here.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Fruit and vegetables and.
And they're
Pretzels.
hungry. I know. You hungry? Oh, me too.
Yeah, we're gonna go home and cook.
Yeah.
I already have it ready to go.
All right.
So we're gonna do a 1 week check-in.
Okay.
Wait, what night are we going?
Hey, don't touch.
It's okay.
No, Kendall, no, come here.
And Milo what?
Like I didn't know her touching the cord.
Yeah, it's okay. None of the cords will. Yeah, it's all right. That's just my headphones.
Got the hat.
Yeah. Probably not Tyler's hats because they're Tyler's. Yeah, so next week we'll do a 1 week.
So next week, 1 week follow up.
Wait, are you guys are going next week, not tomorrow?
We're going next week
Okay.
on Friday.
My life is crazy, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sure she told me, but
Next
it's like
Friday.
No, I keep trying to tell my
Only
husband to do a family
because
calendar.
yeah, that was the soonest we could get the afterwards.
well, like I thought it was weird that you guys were doing it tomorrow. I don't know how I got it in my head, and I
Yeah.
was like, wait, but you're not even done, are you? Or like, how is that
Yeah,
working?
one more day.
Are you just you're gonna get there right to the end and be like,
Screw it.
"Ha, I'm out.
74.
Like, yeah,
Imagine failing at 74 days.
I would do it. I'll probably do it.
Don't put that
Just
out
to
there.
be the
Don't put
rebel.
that- Yeah.
Purposely do it.
Just because that's the way I work. Like everything gets hard.
Mm.
No. I mean, yeah. It's already my picture has become funny. Like I'm doing like selfies. I've like kind of given up on it. One of them if I was in and one of them I just got out of the shower and the mirror was steamy and I took that. Yeah, you can't even see it. It's funny.
You can do the ducky face selfie like
Yeah.
back in the day.
Yeah.
I just did a before picture, and so I'm gonna do an after picture. And
I am
Cool.
planned to. So I took pictures of myself in the mirror, front, side, back,
Nice.
back.
yeah,
So you could see like my creases, my fat.
Oh, okay.
But I did it with my shirt on, and then I did it with my shirt just lifted up, so
Ooh,
you could see my
nice.
stomach. So I'm planning to put together like a just one picture from each week slideshow, just so I can see like the
So wait, you did
the
that
progress.
like daily?
Yes, I
All
took
those
10
pictures
pictures.
daily?
Too much.
10 pictures
That's
every
too
day.
much.
It was a 20 seconds. Click, click.
Yeah.
That's
click,
a lot. For
click.
me.
wouldn't even fit
Some
in my
days
phone.
yeah.
And then
Really?
I hide them.
Yeah.
Some days I was just
So I
like,
haven't even looked at them.
most of the days I'm just like in my pajamas and I'm just like, whatever my hair is doing. Like that's a lot of the days. I didn't even like try at all.
I'm excited to see to see if I can tell progress, especially like day 1 picture, because I'm sure there's going to be a difference in day 1 and day 75.
That's what I'm excited.
see.
to, well, I'll have to show everyone show each other's first and last picture
Oh no.
on the
Oh, loud.
yeah.
It's probably not
Yeah.
good.
Oh
I
my
mean, I can see the
gosh,
difference.
you're gonna have to give yourself credit. Is the fun part? Is I'm like, you're gonna have to acknowledge. You're gonna see the difference, and you're gonna have to acknowledge it. 'Cause
I can
you're
see
like
the
12
difference.
Just send us a
pounds.
picture of your arm like this,
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
and find a picture of your arm like this, not like prior to 75. If you didn't take a picture,
Yeah, I didn't take a picture of me doing that, but the last like couple weeks I've been doing that because I've been seeing muscle. And so
well, maybe you can find a picture of you like just with your arms up or something, just as a comparison.
Okay.
I don't know.
You
right
didn't-
from right before.
We should have made everyone do bathing suit pictures on the first day.
That's embarrassing.
No,
Well,
it's not. It's exciting on the last day. That's
Yeah.
like the cool part. That's
Not when you have a long way to go still.
That's kind of how I felt.
Yeah, but that's not how it works. You don't get to be like, oh, I'm still not good enough. Like that's not how it works. It's
You
like,
want to start in the middle.
look how much I accomplished.
start
Look
at
what
the
I
start.
did. Look how amazing.
Yeah.
I think that's good enough for me to see myself like that. That's good enough.
Well,
for
that's
me.
fine too.
Well, what I would suggest though is start doing that now, and then a year from now,
Yeah.
where are you? You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah, no,
I
that's true.
plan to continue to do
Even
my
if you keep the
pictures
picture to
because
yourself,
I want to
like-
see where I am a year from now.
Yeah.
Like that's where that comparison's gonna be
Yeah.
huge.
Well,
I-
and you know, we have the second part or whatever, right?
Yeah, the phase 2 or whatever.
Phase 2.
So are you guys? Because I'm thinking January 1st. Is that your plan too?
I don't know.
For what?
I don't
Phase
know.
2
I
of the
keep-
75
Like,
hard.
oh, that's when you have to do like the cold shower and all that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a couple
there's
add-ons.
Yeah,
one.
I don't. I mean, again, I'm gonna keep going, and maybe in January I'll be like ready. But I'm like, can we do cold showers in the summer though? Like, let's-
Yeah, yeah. I know.
That does sound very not enticing.
might be a
I know.
little easier.
Last time we talked about it, I was like, yeah, I think I just have to do it. But today I'm like, I don't want to. I just don't want to do it.
I'm gonna see where I'm
depends on the
at,
day.
but in my
Yeah.
head right now, I plan to continue to do what I'm doing. And then I think maybe I'll be ready January 1st
That's
to
true. I
do
guess it's a
phase
while.
2 and
It's a while
see where
away.
I'm at. And the cold
Yeah.
shower is going to be hard in the winter, but it's doable.
You know, though, I've done probably in this maybe like 10 cold showers.
Well, one thing too,
Really?
somebody I think
During
you
this?
mentioned one of you
Oh.
guys
I've done a couple actually.
is after if you do the cold shower right after you got done working out when
Yes.
you're hot,
Yes.
it's going to be a lot easier.
That's the only time I've done
Yeah.
it, girl.
Yeah.
The only time.
Yeah,
I
that's
wanna
the
go
only
up
reason
to
I
the
did it too.
mountains and lay in a river. I want to do it this year. I'm serious.
In the winter or the summer?
I just want to right now this
Okay,
summer.
let's do it.
Yes.
Let's do our mom hike
Let's
and
do
lay in
it.
the water.
Really?
I
Oh.
really want
Okay.
to. I want a cold plunge in nature. Like it's
Do
been
it.
a goal of mine, and I'm scared.
Not in the winter
because-
though.
So
No.
have you,
I-
have
Not
you
even
ever done
hardcore over
anything
there.
like
I know.
I've never cold plunged.
that? Never.
I've taken a cold shower. I've never done
me neither.
like
I
an
like
ice
the cold
bath
plunge
or.
better than the cold shower.
But
Really?
a cold plunge
Yeah.
in nature is supposed to be like that much more like.
So I've done
It's
it.
going to be harder because
You've
it's
done it?
running
I've-
water.
Yeah, I've done it in freezing, like below, like
Ooh.
glacier runoff water.
Ooh.
That sounds cold.
So
And you had someone like,
So I was a scout, and
Pull you out?
yeah, there was something called the polar bear,
Oh.
and you would
Oh.
hike up. It was at Bear Lake, and you would hike up and go into glacier runoff, basically.
Mhm.
And it's like you get in, and most people get in and immediately get back out because they can't handle it.
Yeah.
But if you can handle it, your body will essentially become numb,
Yeah.
and you'll
wait
stop
till it-
feeling it.
Mhm.
You just have to get
Makes sense.
past that first
Yeah.
arc. and
That's
then-
how I felt when I went to the river, the Provo River.
Yeah.
It was so ice cold that it was
Yeah.
terrible at first, but numb very quickly. That I did not
Right.
feel my toe being
You
and
didn't
my
even
ankle
crush.
being messed
so
up.
you did
yeah.
cold plunge.
I
Yeah,
guess
I
so.
guess sorta.
Yeah.
Technically,
I wonder how cold that water was.
So then do you
I
have to
don't-
like go full under, completely under?
No,
You don't
so
have-
the polar bear, I can't remember exactly what it was. It was like you swim a certain amount and then swim back
Oh.
and get out. And then there was something called the orca, I want to say.
That one goes under?
That's where you might go under, I can't remember. But on that one, you have to swim through a culvert
Oh.
and
okay.
back out.
What's
there
that?
was a culvert. It's like a pipe that goes under a road. There was like this
Oh.
culvert
What?
there. Do you know what so like the creek or whatever went through? It was a big culvert,
Yeah.
and you just would swim through it and back, and then
Creepy.
come out.
Like underwater, though.
no.
Oh,
No,
okay.
no,
Like
no,
there's
no.
some air.
Yeah, there's
Okay, like that's
it's not
so
full.
creepy.
No, that would be. They wouldn't let us do that.
Oh, well,
There's no
I
way.
would-
Yeah, because this was
There's
like it was
oh.
the scouts, so
Yeah.
that would have been like a liability issue for
Okay,
sure.
yeah.
I think we
But-
should go on a hike first, somewhere where at the bottom or close to the bottom there's a stream or whatever.
I just did one.
And it has to be
we-
close to the bottom because I don't want to
Yeah.
get wet and then walk because that will be
Yeah.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
if we're like
that's
on
it.
our way back and just did a full on hike and just go lay in the river or the stream,
Mhm.
If you can find this magical place,
I will.
Marquesa,
I
you
will find it.
There's
She
one
will.
in Centerville. We
She will.
just did it as a
Oh.
family, and Sean and Owen laid in it.
Oh,
And
okay.
I had an attitude.
Why do you
about it.
say that it's better than a cold shower? What do you think? Or cold plunges.
So, because we had like the backyard one, and then we left it out and it got ruined. But so I was doing that.
You were
a
doing
year
it
and a
every
half
day?
ago. Not every day, but like
Oh.
I don't know, so often. And I liked it because you'd like get in and you'd sit there and it would get there, but then like the water around you would almost like warm a little bit, and you'd numb a little bit, but also like you're not in a river where the water's moving.
Yeah.
Because when
that's
you're
true.
in there and then you move, then it's
It
cold
hurts.
again. You know.
Yeah, yeah, I can imagine that.
Yeah, and I would do 5 minutes, and mentally it was awesome.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
they're
I've-
doing them. People are.
I wonder if it all just has the same sort of benefits of like this mental, like we were talking about before. Like it really is just kind of toughening you up
overcoming.
Yeah.
mentally.
I think
Well-
there's
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
like chemically
Right.
about
Well,
the cold.
Oh, it is?
It releases something. I remember
Does?
listening to a podcast.
We are like we have created bubbles around ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, if you think about where we came from, I mean, supposedly, or if we were like living in caves and hunting a tiger or whatever, saber-tooths out there. We got to go get him. Like and then now we like everything is controlled. It's like your climate. I mean, you lived in an RV, so it's like you might know more than we do because we just like live in these 70-degree
Oh no, it
bubbles
wasn't.
all
It
day.
had 2-way air conditioner unit.
Right. But it's like, are you able to run them all the time?
Yeah.
You know, you might be on a travel day and it's like you might not be running them, or you might be, I don't know. But
We had a generator on those.
yeah, there you
Or
go.
even just her
It was
Just run your
totally,
traveling.
yes, I
generator.
totally, I know
But
what
it's
you're
like,
saying,
look at
but-
what we do. And so if we just go outside and we're just hanging out outside, there's going to be a temperature fluctuation. And
Yeah.
like I've noticed that a lot in like the past 5 years or so. I was a receiver in a grocery store and there's no heat in my back room. Basically, there's a heater 30 feet in the air. There's no other HVAC and all the heat just went up.
Mhm.
So it'd be like I would be working in like 40 or 50 degree temperatures all day. By year 3, you don't even notice it.
Mm,
You just
yeah.
go back there. I'm walking
Acclimated.
around in a t-shirt. People come back there like it's cold back here. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
You're
It's
just
not
acclimated
even-
to it.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's like you're saying, maybe we're soft. We're all soft.
We are all.
Yeah, these are. It's interesting that we crave these things too. That it's becoming this like, especially in
Yeah.
our generation.
Right.
Like,
So now they're like, all right. So
let's
so
be
I'm an
homesteaders and let's
Yeah.
be let's
Right.
do all these hard things.
So the appliances. I have sold a couple freezers to dudes that are literally turning them into cold plunges.
Yeah,
They're
Oh,
like, I'm just gonna go
really?
fill this thing
Oh,
with
that's so
water.
they're
interesting.
so much cheaper.
A good idea.
Yeah.
And even the
Yeah.
ones
Yes,
not
so-
working, you can just put an ice thing in it and it'll still stay. Because we've looked into
Oh,
it.
that's interesting.
And
Yeah.
you should sell them. You should find the broken
There
ones
is
and
a-
caulk them and seal them
Right.
and sell them as I
There
sell.
is a company that's doing it, and they're selling them for a lot of money, like a lot.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like compared to what I get them for or can get them for, it's
Mhm.
like, 300-400 times the
Yeah.
amount.
Holy
It's-
cow!
Yeah.
Just
Oh.
kidding.
How does that work with aren't freezers not supposed to be tipped on their side?
Well,
No, they're the
they're
the
the
deep freeze.
freezers.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes
Yeah.
sense. Never
Yeah,
mind.
the other ones that wouldn't.
Yeah, in my
last
head
long.
that didn't make
Yeah.
sense.
You're like, and that's
Wait a
small- yeah.
second.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Marquesa knows that. I feel like nobody knows that. Clyde's always saying that. Like people just always want to put their fridges right, just like lay
I
them down.
just
He's like,
did
nope,
that.
can't do that.
Yeah, I had like a guy show up with a minivan, and I'm like looking at him. I'm like, this is not gonna work. And he's like, just put it over all the seats like this. And I'm like, okay, well, so just a PSA, you can do it. It's just a matter of how you treat the fridge after.
Don't you have to let
Oh.
it sit for so long?
Yeah. So
okay.
yeah. So there's a compressor in the bottom, and it's kind of like an engine. And engines need oil, and it's similar to an engine. Well, what happens is the oil leaks through the tubes up the freezer. So if you put it on its side, that oil now leaks through instead of staying in the bottom, right?
Yeah.
And so if you just tip it right back up, and you don't give enough time for the oil to leak back down into the piston, and you just turn it on, then it will seize like an engine that ran out of
Mm.
oil.
I didn't know all that.
That's basically the issue. So if you do have to tip it on its side and you want to use it again, wait a day or more, and the oil will run back down, and it won't seize that piston. So that's the issue. But
On
Yeah.
the next
So knowledgeable.
episode of
so knowledgeable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know weird things about fridges.
you should talk. You said you have your channel where you do your stuff.
Yeah,
You should talk about these like hacks. These
we are.
You
and
should know this.
It's the most successful I've ever been at YouTube. Is
That's
doing
awesome.
the appliances.
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
so-
because people YouTube things when they're trying to do stuff, when they're
Right.
trying to
Yeah.
build stuff
Yeah.
or fix a car or whatever it is.
Yeah, well, and it's helping me. I have some people that are watching my appliance videos, and like I'll ask them stuff because they're appliance technicians, and I'll be like, "Hey, what is this?" I put out a video yesterday where I'm like, "What even is this?" And they
Mhm.
both answered and explained it to me.
That's
That's
I was
awesome.
like, "Great, yeah,
Great.
yeah, it's awesome." But so I'll keep growing it.
Cool, cool.
I don't know.
Well, cold
But yeah,
plunges
cold
are an
plunges.
option, I guess.
Like we could make them. That company, I kind of looked into them a little bit about what they were doing, and they are like sealing the outside. So just to put this out there, I don't know what in the freezer would be an issue, but they seem to think that if you don't seal it right, you could be
Why the outside?
not the outside, the inside.
Oh
Like,
yeah, I would just. Why not just caulk it? Like why?
Well, I think they're generally waterproof. Like I think it would just hold water.
Well, yeah,
but they are
there's a little
putting.
bit of a crack in it. You know, like in the
Yeah.
seam, it seems like.
I don't know. They're putting something on it all the way around. Like they're painting it,
Like coating it.
coating it with
Cool.
something to make it safer. I don't know if they figure the metal in the side of the freezer will leach off and then leach into your skin, or something on that will leach in. Like it was basically something like that. They were worried about people doing this and like getting cancer or something like that. Like,
Are
I
they
don't
just
know.
hitting their quota to be able to be a business though? Because
Maybe.
of all the weird stuff. To if you're like,
Yeah, because
if you're
they're-
just selling it online, it's one thing.
Yeah,
but if you
'cause-
like have a business, you have to P's and Q's.
Yeah,
Mhm.
maybe. Well, they're basically saying like if you just get a freezer and put water in it,
Mhm.
then you could be in danger of whatever chemical, whatever. And if you buy it from them, then you wouldn't be. Now the difference is like I
They're
sold.
making money off
Yeah.
of you.
Yeah.
they're selling them for
You
like
can't just do this yourself,
$3,000,
guys.
Yeah.
and it's like
Don't think that you can.
I'm like $3,000 for a freaking freezer that's coated. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know, but theirs are new too, so I don't know.
Hmm.
But I mean, I'm surprised nobody's actually making a thing because everybody's wanting to do it. I'm surprised
Mhm.
no company is out there making purpose-built freezers for
For
this.
that.
I mean, you
Yeah.
can buy in our SEO community. There's people that will post about them. You know, they bought their ones that you like lay down in.
Yeah,
You know, and they're not cheap, but they're you set your temperature and
yeah.
and all
Yikes.
that. You know, and they're
Yeah.
super nice, but they're not $3,000. They're
That's a
a
lot.
little more.
Yeah.
So
Well,
there is
Marquesa
so there
said-
is somebody who's making them.
Yeah, like
not-
an actual one. Yeah.
Yeah, and I would think that like if it was going to be a medical device, it would probably have to go through the roof. The price just becomes outrageous.
Oh, that makes
And they
sense
are.
too. They are.
because
But
they
our-
have to test everything.
Mm-hmm. In our where I did kickboxing when we lived in Tooele, he got one in his place, and it was like it's like an actual like like.
Well, yeah. I guess they've been doing that for years for sports. Right?
Oh yeah,
That's
sports
like
been doing ice baths forever.
that's just like normal for them. I don't know. I
Ice
guess
their
I didn't think
muscles
about that.
after.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Interesting. Huh. Well, Marquesa said that she was going to actually read the 75 hard book.
I am,
when
as soon as
she
I
is
finish.
done.
I'm
So I guess we'll
almost
know.
done with my book
Yeah.
that I'm on now, and then I'm going to read the Four Agreements.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love
When
that
I'm
book.
done with that, yes, it'll be my third
But
time.
then you got to read the Fifth Agreement.
I've never read that,
That's good.
so now I have to read that too. But I can also I start listening to them on tape while I'm cleaning or doing the dishes or whatever, showering.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I can have a couple books going at once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, I do plan to read it, so
So we'll
have
be more prepared.
info.
I'll probably read it too, the next one. We'll have to just buy it.
We were thinking about looking into getting an ice bath, something just cheap. I was gonna wait for like Prime Day or whatever, Black Friday
Really?
or whatever. Yeah,
Like the one, like the plastic one,
Just-
or the
I don't
or the
know
one
yet.
you actually like plug in and it's like
not
hard.
not one that you would plug in.
So we got one for $99 and it was okay, but like if you're not careful, they do rip, and I've tipped over in it before. They're just not super stable.
I was thinking of looking at like getting maybe like a galvanized metal barrel.
I think you should find an old freezer that's broken
Yeah.
that someone's selling and
I
bring
can
it over to this
start-
gentleman.
I can start looking for you. I can get you an old freezer.
I
Like,
think he
that's
could
what I
get
do.
it fixed up for you to work super nice, and you would pay what you would pay for a big.
I could just get you one. You wouldn't even have to pay for it. I could go find you one and fix it. And I had 2 last month that would have worked. Well, yeah, one of
We're
them
gonna
I
have this
sold to a
conversation.
dude. But
It would be
Yeah.
cool.
I'll
I need
start
to.
What are
looking.
you going to paint on it though to make sure it's not
I'm
leaching
not gonna
into her
paint
skin?
anything on it. Like you're gonna have to figure that out.
I would just caulk the corners.
I'll make
other
it
than
work
that.
though.
It's not like I'm imagining it, but doesn't it have like cracks and
I'll
stuff
show
that
you.
would go in
We
and like
have one that
electrocute
we
you?
have one that we use. No, it won't electrocute you because there's just all that it is just a box. It's a foam box. So an outer layer of metal, then foam, and then an inner layer of metal.
Okay.
And so the way that these work is the coil that the Freon goes through is in the wall
Yeah. Okay.
of
Okay.
the. I'll show you when
So it's
when you leave.
cooling the coil, and the coil is cooling the box.
Yeah, so it's just a foam box with the
Yeah, it's late.
the AC coils in it. So
Oh, careful. Okay, cool. Yeah,
yeah.
well,
So there's no electricity where the water would be. And I think they're already waterproof
yeah.
because you have condensation
Yeah.
and frost develops,
that
right?
makes sense.
Well, when the frost goes away, it can't go to anywhere that's electric,
Yeah.
or else you would always get, whatever electrocuted. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
So Don says a big foot tub would work. We don't have the chat on here, but what's a big foot tub? Yeah, yeah. That's kind of what you were thinking with the galvanized tub or whatever.
yeah,
so,
yeah. I've seen some people do that.
Yeah.
All right. Oh,
No, you're good. No, it's probably nothing. It doesn't matter. You're good. Yeah, we're still on.
You unplugged Maddie.
Oh, you unplugged
Oh.
Maddie.
that's okay.
Here, I'll fix it.
On this episode of 75 Hard.
Yeah.
I don't know
It's the life of the homeschool moms.
Oh, jeez. Well, we can probably wrap up anyway.
Yeah. Yes, please. Oh, Clyde didn't sign it, did you? Oh, okay. Sweet. Thanks.
Yep, I signed it. Yeah, this one's going long.
Yeah.
Bye.
Galvanized.
Bye,
See,
Rachel.
The Don says just get you a galvanized foot tub and just throw your ice in it. I mean, yeah. Go to isn't there there's big tubs that they sell at that farm place?
Yeah. I can't think of what it's called, but yeah, there's one
the,
right by my
the
dad's house.
IFC
Yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's where
Yeah.
I've seen
International
those. And they
Farmer.
use them for, the animals' food and
IFA.
water.
IFA.
But-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anything
right.
else? I think
I don't think so.
we'll plan for next week a one week post check-in.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
I'll be eating candy during that.
I know.
Just kidding.
We all just jump off the deep end
I know,
by
Yeah.
next week.
Tractor
If-
Supply, Don says.
Yeah. If we
If
don't even
we're
come
not
on
here
you'll know
next
why.
week,
Yeah.
you know what?
You know why. Wait, what
Yeah.
is next week? When do we go to Leatherby's?
Friday.
Oh, okay.
So Thursday.
So that would be after. So next Thursday we're gonna try to do it again.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
All
Well.
right, cool.
Cool.
Yeah. Thanks for watching,
Bye.
everybody. Bye.
Peace.